Premier League this season, United's the big story, I think, in terms of how they're going to do under Louis Van Gaal. Jose Mourinho this year has to win the league. How will City cope with having won the league last season? All the questions that you have to ask at the start of the season, remain. Can the champions really get themselves up for it again? Liverpool, Champions League, brilliant season last season. Can they reach those heights again? I'm not quite sure. So the questions are there to be answered, and I think that from my point of view at this moment in time, I see Chelsea going to be champions because of the fact of their additions. I think they were strong last year. Costa, Fabregas, for me, just give them the edge. I think when you're talking about someone like Louis Van Gaal, you talk about expectation, he's going to expect himself. I mean, he'll put himself under massive pressure. He hasn't come to finish 3rd, 4th, 5th or 6th. I think he's got a huge challenge in his first season. There's some things that are going to work for him. Not having Europe, being able to work with his team week in, week out on the real good training weeks that I think Liverpool benefited from last year, that'll be a big plus for him. But I think in terms of expectation levels at Manchester United, you don't take that job unless you're basically going to put yourself under pressure, and the fans demand, the club demands, and he demands of himself. And I think that recruitment and getting that right and making sure that basically the players that he wants get in. We were told last year that United needed a big name manager to attract players. At this moment in time, the only 2 players that have signed are the players that basically were, if you like, on the pipeline from last season's recruitment. I think Fabregas is the one. I said that the other day. I was thinking, how's he going to do? You know, he really was fantastic the first time round, became a goal-scoring midfield player. That's what Chelsea will expect of him. At Barcelona, he thought that he was going back to his spiritual home. It didn't quite work out for him. I'm not saying that it was bad for him, but he always felt they were trying to sort of shoehorn him into that midfield. You felt that they had Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, and that he was almost the 4th member in the 3. And I think Chelsea are going to make him one of their star players. They're going to build things around him in that central area. In terms of actually winning matches for Chelsea, that's what Fabregas will be judged by next season, and he'll be judged by whether Chelsea win the league. I think the games are getting tighter again. I think when you bring managers like Mourinho back into the league, it brings, I use the word seriousness in a way in which the games seem more big, more tense, more of a struggle when you bring Mourinho back into the league. It'll be the same with Van Gaal. I felt 3 years ago it was almost like you score 5, we'll score 6, 5 3s, 6 2s. I think now you've got some real serious managers in there who will not want to concede goals, who will see the big games as a struggle. And for me, that's what big games should be: tense, tight affairs. I think moving forwards, what I want to try and do is do things that are different and engage with different sportsmen, sports people, business people, and try and bring a different perspective to what is a different readership. It's a challenge, it's something I'm looking forward to, and I've got to prove myself.